are just mini people exploring the jungle. And the jungle is not, it's not outside, it's inside. Because outside we have everything kind of sorted out and put into boxes and organized. At least that's what we think. But my work actually makes you look deeper and see yourself in this deeper place. The way I see my art always depends on the context I'm in at the moment. In a bigger perspective, it's about all aspects of life. You can see it in opinion of other people. Some of them see my art as scary and dark and sad. Some of them see it as very peaceful and quiet and happy. So it's not about happiness or depression or sadness. It's about the place where all emotions are born, where they are coming from, all of them. And you don't look there very often. That's why it's very, very unique, very special experience. And you don't really know what you see, but it makes you feel something. And you don't really know why it makes you feel something. If you ask an artist or musician how he creates what he creates, the answer is always that the work or the song just creates itself. It's like you have to find the door to the world, but you don't create this world. It's already there. So you have to find the way to connect.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be the jungle. My art is about going into unknown, into a place that is something you have no idea about. And because I'm living in Europe, the thing I have no idea about, and it's really mysterious for me, is a jungle. This is the same thing as with your subconscious mind. It's full of life. And it's mysterious. So my role as an artist is to go to a dark place people are afraid to go alone. Find what is there and bring it back. And if you take something from this place and you take it back, it has to turn into something physical. It has to turn into words if you're a writer. It has to turn into music if you're a musician, or it has to turn into a painting. Not everyone can do it, but everybody needs to have some kind of connection to this place. That's why we still have music and art. You have some image in your head, but it's in a place you cannot see. There is some emotion, there is something, some feeling, there is something you cannot describe. And you don't know what it is, you don't know how it looked like, but you try to recreate it. And you kind of know how it should look like. You know the feeling, you don't know the shape. It's not like, okay, if I want to depict this feeling, I need to pull a palm tree here and and small person here. You have no idea. But you have all these elements, and you, just like you have notes in music, you just play, and while you play, while you're improvising, you find this melody, this something that create instant connection between the melody and this image you have in your head. This is something with my art. It's like a mirror, and I have to create the reflection, and I don't know how it's gonna look like, but once I got it, I know this is it. And then you have to just work on it. Usually I use, I would say, pieces of reality, and I rearrange them into something new. At the same time, you cannot create anything new. You can just change the shape, change the arrangement of specific things, and put them in a shape they have never been put before. Most of my tools are connected to just visual art, and mostly digital. It's another tool that requires a different skill than painting or drawing, because it requires to be more aware of things you see. You cannot just create something in your mind and then put it on the paper. You have to be aware of the elements that are already there. So it's not coming from you outside, it's coming from the outside to your mind. Your mind is kind of analyzing it, and then you can change it. Yeah, in the beginning it was like opening the door to a completely new place. It's just going to this dark place in your mind you always put aside. So if I look at something I did 3 years ago, I can see that the place I was depicting on my works is something really dark, and it's something I was really afraid of. This is a place where you put every dark and negative thought. Instead of just feeling it, you just put it away and hide it. It has to go somewhere. You cannot just get rid of it if you don't feel it, if you don't go through the feeling. You can just hide it away. But the more you hide, the more dangerous this place is, or the more unstable the place is. So there is a moment when you just fall down right into this place without any plan to do so. You just suddenly find yourself there. So in the beginning it's frightening, but first thing, you start to take care of this place in a way. You start to accept that this is part of you, and also you start to explore it, because there is so many information about you in this place. So you just go around and see all these weird places, things you don't understand, but you are fascinated. You're not afraid anymore. Or sometimes you do, because still you can find something that is hidden even in this place, like deeper. And for me, there was many thoughts about just physical activity. I was just pushing away for many years, because until I was 27, which was 3 years ago, there was not many physical activity in my life, but there was this moment when all the negative thoughts came back, and somewhere among those thoughts were this deep realization that basically your body is the only thing you really have. You cannot have anything in the world. You cannot have money. There was an interesting thought about money. I read it somewhere. That money is never yours. It's just your turn to spend it. So you cannot really own anything, but this is the only thing that only you can control. And when I realized it, and it wasn't conscious realization, because if I say it and someone hear it, he's like, yeah, he's right. But it doesn't make you really do something about yourself. It's more about feeling good that you agree with someone. But to actually do it, you have to feel it. And if you really feel something you just neglected for many years, you're just really scared. So I was really scared that for 27 years I wasn't doing anything with my body. And there is also this thought, maybe it's too late. I hope it's not too late. And at the same moment, in the moment of this realization, I met a great yoga teacher. He was just around somehow. Yeah, it was about 3 years ago, and it was in Colombia. I would say it was the first journey that I considered as a journey to actually find myself or find who am I. It wasn't just being a tourist and seeing something interesting. It has a deeper meaning for me. And I think you can give this deeper meaning to any journey you make, or basically anything you do in your life. I think I came back after 1 year, and the second time I went with two of my very good friends, very close friends. And there is something in traveling together that is really bonding in a way you cannot experience anywhere else. You cannot experience it in work or in a city with friends. It's about going through something difficult together, or yourself. I would say it's about strong emotions. So it can be very, very positive emotion. It can be something really beautiful. But the thing is that it's so much easier to find difficult situations. You don't have to look for it. It just happens sooner or later. This is also why I go to the forest in the night, and also to spend time with myself. This is a very important thing, because one of my friends many years ago asked me a question: when was the last time you were alone for more than 3 days? Really alone, so no people around you, no talking, or even 24 hours. And I was thinking, and I said, I have no idea. I don't remember. Maybe never. Because you're always surrounded with people. You're always in a place that requires you to act in a specific way. If I see doing art or being an artist as a job, then the part of the job is traveling. Or finding some other way that breaks you out of the schematic way of living. Because in the city, in your logical mind, you know pretty much everything. Or if you don't know, you can read a book, and then you know. Or you can go to university, learn about something, and then you know. But the book doesn't know. Nobody knows who you are, but you. And nature is a teacher that is constantly telling you, just look into yourself. To really feel it, or to really experience it, you need to go to the jungle, you can say, metaphorically.
Many times when I'm in the forest, I have this moment when I see everything around me as a metaphor. So everything has symbolic meaning. If you want to find an answer to some deeper question, like what is my goal or what is my life going towards to, the best way is to look at nature again. So if the tree is growing, what is the goal? Is it going towards a certain shape? This is the goal? Or the goal is just to be, to grow? I mean, the goal is always to grow the best you can. So the tree is growing the best it can. And then if someone is asking me what motivates you or what is your inspiration, it's like, I don't really need inspiration or motivation. It's just what I do. And to get to the point when you can say that this is what I'm doing, this is who I am, you have to clean your mind from all the distractions or from all the people inside of your head telling you you should be like this, you should be like that. When you live in the city, I don't know if you can reach this point when you really don't care about what people say. It's more about constantly regaining your focus on what is important. And it's also, if we get back to this tree metaphor, if the tree is growing, until some point it doesn't really know what kind of tree it is. And then it realizes, okay, I'm this kind of tree, okay. And then you have to accept who you are. You cannot change yourself into a different tree. You can try to change your shape. You can, I don't know, you can pay some gardener to cut your branches into a beautiful shape. But it doesn't change who you really are. So the thing about happiness is being, it's like being at peace with yourself. And it's really difficult to do when you live in the city, because you have all the things around you that are telling you you should do this, you should buy this, because if you don't have this you are worse. And we tend to want objects that are just material things. They doesn't have a deeper meaning. We just want to buy a new car or buy a new shoes, I don't know, something. And if you surround yourself with things that are really beautiful, it's basically it's a reminder where you should look within yourself. What are the things you should focus on? I am the person who needs to create. And if you need to create, you have to be connected to this deeper place. In my art, I don't try to make it beautiful and put things that are just beautiful. I try to connect to the real meaning and give it to you in a pure form, the purest form I can get. And if in photography, it's the same thing. In black and white, I can see the meaning instantly. I'm not distracted with colors and with just the visual layer. It's more about meaning, about story, and also about light. Which is connected to my art, because my art is always about light in the darkness.